What's up, everybody? Spabrog here, and I'm here to give you the H-Hour Weekly Community Update number 6. This week, we got what we wanted. Wolfrun has finally been fixed. So, in the gameplay in the background, what you see is I'm playing Wolfrun for the first time, so I don't know the rush paths and stuff. I'm kind of getting used to it. It's kind of early. When I was playing this, it was only Eagle in here. I guess he was testing stuff out. Then he's like, hey, Spab's in here, let me play him. And then I'm just like, holy shit, there's tunnels now, what the fuck? And then there was like 2, so I'm like mind fucked already. But whatever. To continue on, first I'll talk about the patch notes, and then we'll talk about Wolfrun a little bit from my first impression. So, in the patch, first of all, it was primarily about maps. So it was a lot of stuff about Temple and Wolfrun. This, of course. And Temple, it has better FPS now, so the frame rate has improved. They did stuff with the trees, and I think the lighting's a little bit better. And honestly, when I started playing, like I tested Temple, and just to see if the frame rate actually helped, and wow, to my surprise, like before I was running about 35, and like when I would stream or I would record like 28, but now I'm like at about a solid 40, 42. I don't have the highest, the highest end graphics card or whatever, but definitely for streaming, it's very tolerable. Also, like when I go inside, when you're not outside, you get a really high boost in FPS, obviously, because there's less rendering. So when I'm outside and stuff, my FPS is kind of like average, like 40, which is fine. I think that's really good for me, to be honest. But when I go inside, I'm running like a clean 55, and then when I go in the tunnels, I'm shooting to like 72. So I'm very happy about that. That means I could play and stream it like the way I wanted to. Because before I was like, I want to stream the map, but I'm probably just, it's gonna look very laggy, so I'd rather not. I don't want to give it a bad impression for everybody who's watching. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Temple. It's just more lighting and trying to make the frame rate better. But for Wolfrun, as you can see, it looks a lot better from what I noticed. There's like so much cover. It seems like it's a little bit more well thought out. Wolfrun, I guess the idea for it was pretty good, like on paper, but when you play it, like, it was just bad. Everybody was just camping. But yeah, let me just talk about the notes real quick. So for Wolfrun, they got a complete rework of the landscape, as you can see. Landscape sculpting to add elevation and a lot of new paths for movement and cover. This is very true because, like, everywhere I moved, I noticed this a little bit later, but like when I was moving in the river, I saw a lot of things were like pushed up. I'm like, wow, this is good. Now I can't like just chill right here and just pop a dude, or they can't stand behind the building and just wait for me to see something move in the river. So the river actually is a good path to move now. It's actually very viable. It's not like, fuck, I'm not gonna run down here YOLO, hopefully nobody sees me, I have to run through it, but whatever. Next off, they added a new tunnel from the river leading to newly created basement in the main building. So the main building is the middle building next to the bomb hut, and it's very cool because you could run from the river and rush the SOF, because usually SOF do get the bomb first, but if if you have the read on them, you could get to the bottom of the middle building before they do, so they can't rush the river. So there's a huge meta game like during it. So but there's a lot of mobility now. Like there's so many paths. It's not random either. Like I can't explain it. It's more like, yeah, there's 2 tunnels here, but they all lead out the same way, and you're not getting too close to the spawn. You're just getting enough mobility to get to the middle, and then you can formulate a game plan. If your team's rushing the right, now you could actually have control of the middle. Before, it's like the middle was a no man's land. You didn't want to touch it, and it was basically pretty pointless to ever go in the middle. But yeah, next off, there's a new branch off the tunnel from the river leading up to the track. So the same tunnel that leads to the main building, you could go up to the train tracks. Next off, second tunnels from the main building. It goes straight to the SOF spawn. Awesome. You can rush the SOF spawn too if you get the bomb. You don't have to go out in the in the open and stuff. Also, they added a door to the left of the side of the bomb hut, aka the grain storage building. So there's 2 ways to look inside it, and the good thing about it is there's a little elevation on the landscape, so you can't just camp from the other side of the map and see if the SOF get the bomb and stuff. Very cool. They added a big door as well. there's sounds in the tunnels, and all all the volumes in the caves have echo, so there's a reverb volume there. They move excuse me. They move the enemy base so it's closer to the bomb pickup location. Like, I noticed that when I spawned, I'm like, why am I over here to the right a little bit? So that's cool. It gives us a fighting chance. They changed all the bushes as well to be instant for a better frame rate, and also they shortened the grass and the flowers, so you don't get anybody camping in the grass and flowers. But there is still some high some high foliage, to be honest. But it's not somewhere where if somebody's pushing, where they're not gonna be conscious of it. It's like, for instance, on the right side, like in the terrorist village, it's next to the building, but you're not gonna be like, oh, is it gonna be on my left, on my right? It's not random to you anymore. It's more like I could keep up with the pace of the game. But yeah, it just feels better, man. And apparently that's pretty much it for like the Wolfrun. You could see more from the gameplay, like I'm running in tunnels right now. But yeah, they also added a satchel explosion, so it's more amplified to improve effects with successful detonation. So I guess it blows up quicker. I honestly haven't got to play as much. This is probably the only game I played all weekend, so I'm happy to see it. I can't wait to play more, man. I'm kind of anxious to do it. But yeah, next off, we're gonna go into the quick look. So the quick look, they talked about how the dev team's main activities for the rest of the week will be tweaking and testing the latest anti-cheat files to ensure the disconnect players were experiencing have been fixed. So I guess people were getting booted by accident. I haven't really noticed, but yeah. So they wanna cook the lighting on Wolfrun so it could give us better frame rate. And they're gonna sit down with Russ and talk about Sismus, and create a plan moving forward. I'll talk about that in a bit. They want to begin laying out the framework to refine and enhance the player experience to include UI, armory, and other aesthetics that will help round out H-Hour. So yes, the game's gonna be finally more clean. Like picking up your armory. Hopefully, like it should be a little bit easier. The UI has to be a little bit cleaner. It's kind of bare bones still. This is pretty much placeholder. I mean, Lynch did a good job with it. What I think for end product, it shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? I think they could do a better job. It looks like a good job, but the more the better, And also cool stuff right here. These last two parts are awesome. So PMN Mines should make an appearance this week. So you know what that means, right? That means I'm gonna be fucking camping all day. Just kidding. But it's gonna be first pass, so community feedback is gonna be important. So if there's anything wrong with the PMN mines, let everybody know in the forums. But that's cool, man. I think PMN mines are gonna fit good, especially on Wolfrun now that you can kind of see them. So I think that was a smart idea to introduce them after they touch Wolfrun. So very, very smart on their part. They're also upping the inventory capacity to 3 equipment slots. But you can't have like 3 PMN mine slots, if that makes sense. So they changed the rules for that. So very cool, very cool. Man, I don't even know where I'm gonna plant them. I'm just excited, man. But yeah. So the last but not least of the quick look, and the workshop. So the Steam workshop is now almost ready to begin testing. So next week, the testers will get notified to start, I guess testing it, of course, and see what is needed before it can be released, if there's any bugs or whatever. And yeah, man, this game's like it's actually coming together. You know what I mean? In my head, I knew it would always come together, because obviously that's how game development is. Nothing's going to be terrible forever. And the game wasn't even terrible before. It just needed a lot of work. And it still does need a lot of work, as always. We're still pretty much not done with it. So yeah, but from my first impressions on Wolfrun, man, I love it. Like, I only played one game or whatever. But what I noticed is that the tunnels are awesome. You could, if you have the right team, you could push. Like, I feel like you could push the right now with a team, and it's not random. It's not like, oh, hopefully I get this kill if this guy's camping behind the building, or hopefully I could run over here and the guy in the grass doesn't shoot me right away. Now it's like, okay, You could go in this left tunnel. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna rush river. I'm gonna push up the hill. I'm gonna check for bridge. You know, now they can't shoot you from the like under the bridge if you're in river, because there's like a giant rock there. There's just so much. Like I grab the bomb, be like, okay, grab the bomb, go through the basement and then go through the tunnel to go to the hill, and then I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll just watch from the left. It's there's so much to do, you know what I mean? So I feel like everything seems a little bit more even. I know I just played only one game, but it just looks a lot better. Like that big mountain in the middle is just like, yes. If I were to compare it to two SOCOM maps, I would say this map is. I gotta think about this. I would say Fox Hunt and Rat's Nest. I know it probably looks like neither, but Fox Hunt in the sense that there's mountains, there's foliage, there's a river, and Rat's Nest in the sense that built like the middle building is pretty much like the hub, but there's the tunnels like lead you throughout the map. Even though it's just like 3 separate locations, they all lead you to 3 main parts of the map, like the river, the train tracks, and the SOF spawn. That's something very big, and especially on Wolfrun where you had this like huge field of vision where you could just stand in one spot. Like I could prone in one spot and see where everybody's going, and that's the problem before. You know, that was the problem. You couldn't really move. People could just like chill right here and then be like, yeah, I'll just call it out when I see him, or like you just shoot him with an SD. You miss all your shots, but you probably landed 1 or 2, and the dude's down to like 40%, and then what is he gonna do, right? So everything it's just coming together, man. I'm hyped for the future, and you should be too. So, but for Sismus, like I know they want to do Sismus next. I don't know what I want for Sismus, to be honest. Like I mean, I do know. I know that Sismus, the terrorists get trapped a little bit. I would like to see that they get pushed, like their spawns get pushed a little bit to the right, or maybe I don't know how they would adjust it. Maybe the hill. Maybe they could have a hill that's from the left. That could kind of push down quick, and they could get to the coffin building quick. Because I know the SOF get to the water tower very quick. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the name. See, that's what happens when you don't play for like a week. But yeah, if they could push that, I don't know. I have to sit down and think about it. But Sismus definitely does need work. It's just more the pace of the map is fine once the terrorists get out the spawn. That's my thing. Coffin building seems cool. Maybe another way to get into church, into hospital or church as well, because like make it harder for the terrorists to get into church, obviously, because I know SOF should take control of it, I guess, or maybe add extraction. Man, if they add extraction instead, oh man, my little heart wouldn't be able to take it. But yeah, the future's looking good, man. I'm still talking about gun mechanics though. Like gun mechanics still need a lot of work, but at least they're giving us content. You know, the gun mechanics aren't to the point where they're just like absolutely terrible, but they definitely need a rehaul. I'm more like I'm sick of dying from SMGs because they have fast fire rate, they're too accurate, and they do as much damage as like a freaking assault rifle up close, which isn't good in my opinion. I feel like it's very scrub friendly, and it promotes randomness to an extent. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this week. I try to keep it nice and short because I know my videos run kind of long. But yeah, if you guys like the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and a sub. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Spab. That's MRSPAB. And yeah, follow SOF Studios. Go to the forums. You know, leave feedback. Tell us what you think. If you want to come back to the game, just let us know. I think it's a very good time to start investing $15. Like if you wanted to see something that's beginning to, you know, it's beginning to grow. I feel like the game is actually beginning to grow. I say do it right now. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace.